What is good, everybody? I am 35 minutes late. Sorry, not sorry. Step it up, September. Day 16. I apologize for the slight, minuscule inconvenience. I was actually I was working on somebody's car. Isn't that something? Whoever would have thought, right? But yeah, Tease is in the building. Thank you for joining, Tease. Appreciate you. Tina Mo, aka hurry up and drop that damn link. I got you, Tina. My bad. Queen's Alchemy's in the building. Thank you for joining, Queen. Peace and love. She said, "Where my plate at?" Hey, Queen, we going I'm gonna take some vegan cooking lessons from you, and then hey, it's all good. You know I got you. Kiss from Jay's in the building. Richie Jay's in the building. All right. No, no, I'm late. About to get started real quick. Tina Mo in the building. The voice of YouTube. How you doing, Tina?
Doing great. How are you?
Eh, I'm here. I'm here. Oh, Josh, my cousin Josh is in the building. What's good, Josh? Thank you for joining, bro. Okay. So the topic of tonight is going to be turning setbacks into setups. How to bounce back stronger. And I know it's going to be a whole lot of pauses. I'm going to just say pause right now, just to begin with. Pause. Okay. 7 people in the chat. Thank y'all for joining. Once again, we're going to let Tina get this set up so she can stream it to her channel. See? I knew it. Freaking people from New York. What's good, Rich? AKA Solomon Project. What's up, man? Everybody speaking good. Brother of a certain age, thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. We just letting Tina get everything set up so she could stream it to her channel. So once again, the topic for tonight is turning setbacks into setups, how to bounce back stronger. Freaking cheeking. I don't know why I said that. It sounds good. Okay, bro. That's a heck of a combination of words. Let me find out Tina went ghost.
I did not.
Yo, Tina, at least let me talk junk and let it linger for a second. All right, it's late. Okay, Tina's live. So let's go ahead and get into these talking points. So talking point number 1 is reframing failure. Setbacks aren't permanent. They're part of growth. Failure equals feedback, showing you what needs to be adjusted. The only true failure is giving up completely. So let's start a mindset shift. Ask ourselves, what is this teaching me instead of why is this happening to me? Got you on lessons. We can collab in the kitchen. Okay. We'll do that, Queen. Susanna's in the building. How you doing, Benita? Thank you for joining. So, Tina, what do you think about reframing failure? You need me to read the talking points again?
I didn't realize I was on mute. Um, I think there always needs to be a reframe of failure,
Mm-hmm.
simply because there's so much to glean as it
Mm-hmm.
relates to as it pertains to seeing what you're looking at from a different perspective,
Right.
being able to take what you would consider losses and turn them into lessons.
Yep. 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 Absolutely. So yeah, that's one of my sayings. We don't no losses, only lessons in life. And you just really said the same exact thing. We gotta everything is a learning experience. So at the end of the day, we can't just play victim because most times we set ourselves up for those lessons to be needed, whether we know it or not.
One thing a person has to have is the right attitude to even look at it from a different perspective in the first place.
Yep.
Because if you look at it with a defeatism mindset, then you'll never get the jewels out of the experience.
Right.
Um, because if you're looking at everything like, oh, I'm a failure, I never should have done this, I should have known better, and things of that nature, that negative self talk can get in your mind to
Hmm.
a point where you're no longer looking at it as something to learn from or something to platform you,
Right.
because a lot of times failure, what tends to happen with failure is not failure but a building block
Yep.
to something that calls you to go higher or do go further or go greater.
Absolutely. Kiss from Jay is in the building. What's up, Kiss from Jay?
Hey, what's going on, Elevated? Hey, Tina. Hey, everybody in the
Hello,
chat. I hope
Lady
all of y'all
J.
are doing amazing.
Okay. Brother of a certain
Hey,
age.
brother of a
Hello,
certain
brother.
age. How
It's
you
good to
doing?
see
I just
you.
Uh-huh.
subscribed to you yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, most definitely. How's everybody feeling tonight?
I'm
We
feeling
here, right?
good.
We on the top side of the dirt, so we doing good.
Absolutely.
It's
Ooh, I
better to be seen than to be viewed.
ooh,
I
God.
know, right?
Oh man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, my bad. I don't want to fall behind in the chat again like I did yesterday. Okay, so yeah, we just went over the first talking point about turning setbacks into setups. Um the first talking point was reframing failure, so setbacks aren't permanent, they're part of growth. Failure equals feedback, showing you what needs adjusting. The only true failure is giving up completely and then starting a mindset shift by asking, what is this teaching me instead of why is this happening to me?
So let me get them points again for the night.
Everybody good? Y'all need to stream this. Y'all know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Go ahead, stream it to your channel. Get some watch hours.
All right, let's see how you do this here. Okay.
Should be under guests or something like that.
Yeah, I see it up there.
Yep. While we
Hey,
waiting,
Queen.
like, so what's up the queen, coaches in the chat.
Yeah, hey, everybody. Happy that
Yeah.
y'all are here and doing well.
Uh-huh. Get some butter. Yeah, we can. Oh yeah, I forgot to Mimi, I saw you, Mimi. I'm sorry. Thank you for joining, Mimi.
Hey, me two times. What's up, girly?
Sister Daniela's in the chat. What she said?
Danielle.
She said hell host in chat. Dang,
Don't
dang, Danielle. That's how you feel.
wait.
Like
Don't
what?
not too much on there. Yeah, now she can have
Yo,
a typo or two.
chill. Like let me fake troll her.
Oh God.
She be giving them good prayers in the morning. Like let me
Wait.
fake troll her. I ain't gonna ask,
Oh.
I can't ask for a prayer in the morning. Mm. A Deuce is in the building, aka Anthony's Too
Hey,
Real.
Anthony's.
Too real.
They said I was typing fast. He probably said all type of vocabulary words.
Okay, I think I did it. I think I did it.
Okay. Here we go. Not too much. Yeah, come on, Anthony. Chill, man. I don't want no smoke. All right, so I guess we get into our next
That's
talking
what we
point.
see.
Our next talking point is going to be resilience in action. Yeah, brother, of a certain age, I see you. I got the notification you went live.
Oh, okay, cool. Appreciate it.
So we got resilience is bouncing back with strength, not just surviving. Once again, pause because somebody's gonna say something crazy. Um, for an example, have you ever been fired or laid off from a job? Just to wind up landing a better one. And small wins after a setback start to build momentum for the greater victory.
Yeah, I definitely got fired, laid off,
Mhm.
and lost a position because I got into a fight. So uh, in the case where I got it, in the situation where I got into a fight,
Mhm.
it was probably the best thing for me to get out of there before I like really hurt somebody. It was like a high,
Yeah,
intense atmosphere where it was always there was always something going on, and I lost my cool.
yeah,
And it was best that I got it. And so that situation, yeah, it was best that I got it. It worked out better.
right, right. Yeah, that's the thing. I know, like you're a real cool, calm, collected type of guy. So for somebody to get you to that level, they had to be a special kind of special.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm 52 now, so this was when I was like 20. This was like right before 9/11 happened because I remember
Okay,
right before now. I'm my late 20s,
okay.
and he said the magic words. He called me BAN
Oh,
Oh.
back.
oh,
Back then.
yeah. Fireworks.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah.
Mm.
So Jay, you just gonna sit there quiet, huh?
No.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a lot.
Okay, nah, you good. I'm just messing with you.
No,
You
I
good.
know. I know.
Good. Don't worry. You give me some views up here. So you just sit there. You
Nah, it's really because I'm just thinking, I hope that y'all can see me and hear me well. Tina, we're gonna have to make sure that we do our interview at 6. If it's possible.
Okay, is that East Coast 6?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
can accommodate you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No
Because
problem at all.
I'm really kind of quiet because I'm hoping that my internet don't mess up because when I do the interviews tomorrow and Friday, I'm gonna
Mhm.
make sure, or Thursday and Friday, I'll make sure I'm at the library so I have some good Wi-Fi. You feel me? But yes, I do agree that I do feel like setbacks are like the thing to help you to it's so crazy how everything happens. I do feel like everything is a domino effect and you don't really see it when it's happening in the moment until you actually step back and you're able to look at the full picture. But you can't really look at the full picture until everything is pretty much done and said, and then you can put the pieces together. Yes, while it's happening, you're able to kind of like guesstimate what's going on, especially if you know the people, you know their personality, you can kind of see what's about to happen, especially if you know like the other pieces of the puzzle who are like other people and you know their intentions and stuff, you can kind of see a little further down the lane. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But it's crazy when when things happen, even for it to be like smaller things, like for example, you not passing a green light. Like that happens for a lot of people. They're driving and they want to go past this green light, but it turns yellow. So they end up stopping when usually sometimes they just like speed up. But this time
Mhm.
they decided to slow down. And then right in front of them, the car right next to them ends up like going by. And then like an accident happened. That could have been
Mhm.
them. They're like, oh my gosh, like usually I would usually step on the gas, but for some reason I stepped on the brakes. And
Right.
this is kind of the reason why. It's so many like reasons to look at situations and be like, wow, I'm so happy I didn't do what I did. Or like it can be something that happens in an instant, or it can be something that happens like it'll be like something that happens over time and you'll be able to see it from the very beginning when it happened up until the moment that you finally realize the whole picture of the story. I think that
Mhm.
is really dope to be able to take a step back and breathe and
Mhm.
understand that some people because they feel like they don't know what their actual goals are in life, they kind of feel like they don't know what their mission is in life. You know how sometimes some people can say that you're here on earth until you fulfill whatever mission it is, even if your mission is supposed to be something extremely small. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Some people feel like they don't know what that is. But it's so crazy when you look back on your life and you see all the obstacles that you have overcome and all the things that all the people that you've touched. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because it's just like a big buildup at the end of the day, and you just have to keep moving forward. And things that you go through, if you're not someone that's strong minded, you're gonna continue to be someone that is set back versus you moving forward the way that it was intended for you to. I feel like a lot of situations are intended for people to move forward. It just has to do with their mindset
Right.
to see if they're gonna be the one to actually take the lead. Because for one, when it comes to it, situations is more so of a hand in hand kind of thing. Like
Right.
if you don't do enough for you, you can't just expect things to just like fall into your hand. Even if it does fall into your hand, if you don't do nothing with it, you're not gonna go nowhere regardless. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Sometimes
Right.
I feel like repeated situations can happen and it's going to continue to happen until you do the right thing. And then
Right.
you'll be able to move forward. Almost like one of those like games, like those like horror games or whatever, where you got to actually do it the right way before you can move into the next room type thing. It
Mhm.
literally is kind of like that. It's so wild how like you can look at it and see. But I don't know, child.
Right. That's very true. Thank you for everybody that's recently joined. I see y'all. Maine, I saw Heroic Waffle. I saw Thrive and Glow with Joe. Anybody else I missed, I apologize. I think I got everybody. But yeah, let's guess we
I wanted to touch on the topic just a moment.
yeah,
Um,
please do.
um, I can't remember a time where I remember being fired from one job and
Mhm.
one job only. And
Okay.
all it ended up doing was making me realize that I needed to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Mhm.
And because of that, I've had somewhat of a hustler's mindset, so that someone else's 9 to 5 cannot define my income,
Mm-hmm.
cannot define. Uh, Now, I'm not saying it's anything against working a 9 to 5,
Right.
but it's one of those things of that's not where my security lies.
Right.
Can I use it as a tool to help me in the future? Absolutely. Can it sustain me in my now? Yes, to a degree.
Right.
However, I do not put all of my eggs in one basket, so to speak, and
Right.
make sure that I'm sharpened in other areas just in case the rug gets pulled out from under me, so to speak. Um, and when it comes to just having to tenacity to move past
Mhm.
the failure of losing a job. I mean, it was devastating.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
walked away from lots of jobs.
Mhm.
But as far as being fired, that one time being fired was enough to say, I need to be my own boss because I couldn't handle it. It was
Right.
one of those things where I'm like, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my life instantly. I come in on a Monday morning dressed to go to work, and all of a sudden I'm being pulled into the office. And
Mhm.
so those types of things will jar you. And so I had the mindset of I got to do something else that
Right.
will sustain me just in case if I work another 9 to 5 or however many hours, that I'm given on one of these jobs or careers or what have you, and I must be able to be self sufficient, regardless to where I am, you know. So
Right.
my job almost becomes supplemental to a
Mhm.
degree, just because I don't rely on it that much.
Right. Right. Yeah. I
So, hi
definitely.
guys, hi everybody. Coach here.
Hey,
Hi.
Coach.
Wow, go
What's
on,
up, man?
coach.
So, man of a certain age, is that the page name?
Brother,
That's
a
the page name.
brother, a
Brother
brother.
of a. So, what do you want us to call you, brother?
Yeah, just brother. You talking about?
Okay. Hi, brother. I wasn't sure.
What's going on, Coach?
Hi, Tina. Hi, Elevated.
What's up, coach?
I'm
Hey,
chilling.
Coach.
So, I just wanted to add my little 2 cents to the question. Could you just say it one more time?
To the question. Yeah, I got you. So the question was, have you ever been fired or laid off from a job just to land a better one?
So I was laid off from
Mm,
the best job ever. It was like the greatest job, and I haven't found anything quite like it. It was a unique kind of position.
okay.
But what it taught me was um always have a plan B and
Yep.
C.
Yep.
Kind of what Tina was saying, but I didn't get fired. It was a situation where everybody thought um in 2008, if you know your history, you know what was going on around that
Yep.
time when certain people
Mhm.
entered into
Mm-hmm.
office, that everything, the roads were going to be paved with gold.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. A lot of people lost their jobs during that time, and I was one of them. And it just really taught me to rely on myself,
Oh,
to always have
right.
a plan B, always
Mm-hmm.
have a backup plan, and make sure you got enough savings to at least carry you 2 to 3 months if you get laid off suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I learned.
Okay. Emergency fund, people. That's what she's talking about. Yeah. Okay. So
Because unemployment ain't cutting it.
it ain't.
It sure ain't.
So Yolanda's in the building. Thank you for joining.
Hey,
And
Bridget. Hey,
Lisa J.
Lisa.
Stocks is in the building. Wow. Thank you for joining.
What's up, Yolanda? What's up, Lisa J?
See that? Yep, yep. I
Yep,
remember 2008. That
2008.
part.
Yeah, that part.
that part.
Pew, to the ground.
I didn't even know about stocks back then, but I remember what happened. All right. So let's get to the next talking point. Next talking point is going to be practical steps to bounce back. So stop and reflect. Don't make decisions in frustration. Evaluate what went wrong and what you control. Have a plan. Set small, actionable steps forward. Act. Rebuild confidence through consistent effort. And stay accountable. Journaling, mentors, and community support. There go that accountability word again.
Yeah, yeah. So like, it wasn't like a loss of a job, but one of the things like C-19 changed
Mhm,
the game a little bit for me the way things went.
mhm,
'Cause I'm considered essential, so I didn't lose my job, but I did lose the ability to work overtime.
Okay.
And there was a difference between that overtime checking. It was probably like 7-8 years that I didn't have a check with overtime in it, and I went from that to like that straight
Oh
year
wow.
where, yeah, it was like
Yes.
there was no OT, there was
Oh,
no, you know what I'm saying. So it made me rethink. Like now the other times when I did lose that position for fighting, and then I did get laid off a separate time. The other time when I got laid off, um, I got unemployment, and it gave me a chance to reset and look at things and reflect on my situation, my past situation. So yeah, it was just like a retooling, and part of what I was determined to bring to the table is value to whatever job I had. Wherever I landed, I was going to bring value, or at least make it hard for them to potentially pick me if they're going to look to lay people off. Because because in the reality, the reason why I got laid off is because I kind of was just like, I was going to work, I was doing the bare minimum, and they didn't really see, if you're going to cut somebody, you're going to cut somebody that look at the job as a chore. So that's the way I looked at it. So then I started to look at, I said, next time I get a job, I'm going to bring value to the job. And if nothing else, I'm going to create a work reputation for myself. You know what I'm saying? Set some higher standards for myself. So that's where I started reflecting accountability. That was the last thing it said, but that was the first thing for me, was to look back and then get that accountability. And okay, now when I move forward, I'm going to make sure that I bring to the table my best, regardless of what the situation is, and go from there. That's how I restarted.
Right. So
Okay.
one question that I have for you with the story that you shared, right? Do you feel like you became accustomed to the overtime because, from what I know, or at least from what I've comprehended, you're supposed to base your lifestyle off of a 40-hour check, and then the overtime is just supposed to be, so you could make your moves with that, whatever moves they may be.
Yeah. No, well, so I think it was more like seeing the numbers dwindle down,
Okay. Okay.
because I like my increase. I made sure I put it into my 403b,
Okay.
so I didn't see it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The OT was for like, vacation, projects around the house, those type of things. It was getting set aside for. So, but there was like that tightening of the belt, because you didn't have that wiggle room.
Right.
Saying I didn't have that wiggle room now. Now I got to be a little bit more cautious about what I'm doing. So after that happened, after everything kind of went back to normal, then I looked at things different. So it made me have a new respect for, my trading my time for money. And I'm not an entrepreneur in that sense. So I'm literally trading my time for money. So I didn't get the entrepreneurial bug per se. I did get into real estate. So I guess that's in that lane. But it's just seeing the number go down was something that, just made me pause.
Okay. I got you. What's good, Callie? I see you in the chat, bro.
What up,
Hey,
Callie?
what's up?
Thank you for joining. I didn't say what's up to Brandon of Palm Beach either, but
Hey,
What's up,
Brandon.
Brandon?
I see you in the chat. Yeah, it's gonna be a quick live. Maybe not. Sister Danielle.
What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's going on, Danielle?
Hey,
How
how
you
are you
doing?
guys?
Amazing. How are
Good.
you?
I'm just being a hell host, like you said.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sitting up here trying to figure out. I don't like using my phone. It be drooling.
Oh Lord.
About to go to my computer, but it's so dusty.
Not you with the
I'll be
dusty
looking like
computer.
the crypto. It be looking like
Dang.
looking like the Crypt Keeper or the bull from what's the bull from Tales from the Hood?
Oh man, what's going on, Brandon?
Yeah, I'll be back. I quit. I'm gonna
Hey, how
go
you
onto my
doing?
computer. I'll be back.
I need to turn this. Let me
All
see.
right, then. Yeah.
Oh, there we
Brother,
go.
I was just intrigued by what brother was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, during COVID-19, my like a third of my incomes is overtime. And when that happened, you had to come up with something else, you know?
All right.
I would
And
say that
I just
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say the good thing about that is I did get into real estate at that time,
Oh.
but also you know, because there wasn't much you could really do anyway, so you wasn't spending that extra money. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't out and about, you wasn't spending that extra money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on the other end of it, that's kind of how I got more involved into YouTube, was because
Okay.
you sitting down a lot, you was at home a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
it gave me
Yeah.
an opportunity to kind of get into the content creation too as well. So it was twofold, but it did sit me down a little bit and make me reevaluate my money choices.
Can I ask what your profession was before you went into real estate? Because a lot of people had that time out during COVID where they decided, I don't want to flip burgers anymore. I'm gonna go and do something else.
Well,
And we lost a lot.
I'm still at the same job for the last since 2003.
Oh wow.
Real estate
Oh,
was
wow.
yeah, the real estate was
Huh.
I so I follow ET the hip hop preacher. I don't know if you guys are familiar with ET the hip hop
I
preacher.
think I heard of him.
He had that thing about the guru. If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll succeed. So that's
Right.
kind of like what he was popular for. But there was somebody on his team named
Mhm.
he's a 9 to 5 millionaire. He's a police officer who got into real estate. So I invested in myself, paid for the course, took
Okay.
that, and it allowed me to transition. I mean, they spelled out, you can get the information for free, but it walked you through literally how
Mm-hmm.
to buy properties. So that
Okay.
is more of a, I want to say a side hustle, but it is part of what I do on the side. But my job, I'm a first responder, so that I was considered essential. So there was not going to be there was kind of no chance that it wasn't going to be work for me during.
And I'm sorry, when you say first responder, were you police officer, firefighter,
No, more EMS unit. My department is an EMS unit.
EMS? Okay. Well, thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate that. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, most definitely. That's weird. Not weird, not you, but just as far as what they entitled essential workers, because when C-19 first really hit really badly, I was working in the dishwasher plant, so it's like how are we essential? like,
Mm.
like
Yeah. It's funny. It depends on whose pocketbook is
that,
talking at the time.
that part. You know,
And
I would have loved to be sitting at home.
Part
Yeah,
of
I
it
didn't sit
though
at
you
is
home
know,
part
during
of
the
it is
pandemic.
the
I was essential.
the cleanliness. Like you need people that can properly, because everything was, we
Yeah.
got crazy about the germs. We got
Uh-huh.
the droplets
mhm.
and bodily
Yeah, but
fluid.
we still needed truckers. We still needed yeah, if literally every single person stayed home, uh we would have been in some real trouble. Some serious trouble because we wouldn't be able to get groceries, wouldn't be able to get anything. And those people who did work during those times, I respect them,
Uh-huh.
um, because they at that time we didn't know what was going on. And
Mhm.
as far as we all knew, when we went to work, we were risking our lives, every single day. We didn't know anything about it. We just know that people were dying left and right, and it was a scary time, you know.
Right. That is
You being
true.
a first responder, I'm sure you've seen it a lot. My brother was a paramedic at the time. I was a cook in a high-end country club, and it was volunteer. I had to get out of the house. I couldn't deal with staying at home. They were going to pay us one way or the other,
Right.
but you know, I worked maybe 15 hours a week, but they're still giving me a 40-hour check. However, like you were saying, I wasn't getting that OT that I'm normally used to getting.
Mm-hmm.
No
But
soda.
oh, there was a lot of no. We were beans and rice. That was it.
Hey, hey, I
We
mean,
we got by though.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that's oof.
Elevated. What was your point that you brought up? I was in the chat when
No,
you brought it up.
I was just,
Or I was in the room.
I was just asking what was the definition of, the essential workers? That's all I was saying. But
I wanted to
that
go back to
depends.
something you said
Go ahead.
earlier, elevated, because I was in the chat when you asked about had anybody been laid off or fired from a job to get a better one, and I've never been I've never been fired. But I was in a situation and it was crazy. The way the situation happened was crazy. I had my first child was about, I think she was like 4 or 5, and no, she was 2. No, I'm lying. They are not that far apart. She was 2, and I was working at this rehab. I was a clinical director, and this was it was an inpatient facility. I loved what I was doing, but the conditions were not great. And I would have stayed in that place forever because I loved the people I was working with and I loved what I was doing. But the house was like a big house in downtown Philadelphia. There was like 20 women in there, and it was a rehab.
okay.
It was like I don't want to say this. The owner was a slumlord, but he wasn't fixing any of the utilities. And so, unfortunately, during the winter time, the pipes froze, and there was a leak that went from the 3rd floor all the way down to the bottom floor. Long story short, they were like, "Okay, we gonna send y'all." We was running a rehab out of hotel. I don't know if you realize how impossible that is. We were trying to run this rehab out of the hotel. Now, hotel got a lot of stuff in it. Anywho, the whole program ended up shutting down, and I got laid off. And when I tell you, I lamented because I got laid off 2 weeks before I was supposed to deliver my child, my son. And
Okay.
if you know anything about labor, like laws, when you're on unemployment, because of course you get laid off, they're supposed to give you unemployment. It wasn't your fault you lost a job, but I couldn't get unemployment because I couldn't work. Like I literally could not work. So I was stuck. So I couldn't get unemployment, and I didn't have no money, and I didn't have no job. And I remember being like, and going back to what Coach was saying, like, you don't have no income. You don't have any income. And so I remember being so angry at the situation because I was like, I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I'm helping the people. I'm doing all the things. And I realized, one, it taught me, like Coach was saying, hey, don't rely on these jobs because they can decide at any moment to let you go, whether it's your fault or not. And then also, the government don't have to help you. They don't have to help you. And I remember I had to wait like 3 or 4 months because I had to sign off to be able to work in order to get some assistance or to get unemployment. And so did I get a better job after that? I don't know that I got a better job, but I was treated better, if that makes any sense. I didn't make any
It's a
more
better
money.
job. That's a better
That
job
sounds
right
better
off the
than
bat.
me.
I love, listen, if somebody told me today, hey, you could get the same crew, you could work with the same people, I would probably say yes. It was just the conditions were bad. The other job I went to after, they didn't tried to hire me back 4 or 5 times, and I will not go back. It's like, no. So anyway, I say all that to say sometimes we don't know. But I do believe that that job had to end in order for me to do some other things. Go back
Yeah.
to school. I had time with my kids that I wouldn't have had otherwise because I would have been working. So there was good in it, but definitely had to learn some lessons in that season.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
kind of have a sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it really interesting how certain things, how I'm always talking about taking things for granted? Like in this country,
All right.
we can apply for unemployment and food stamps and all of this if we're down and out. Now, granted, you might not always get it, but you get something. Because I said earlier, unemployment isn't going to get it. But if we were not here, if we were in another country, there would be no unemployment. So if you don't work,
Wouldn't
you
even
don't
be at.
eat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You got to jump through hoops though, because kind of cousin of mine, he had some heart. He's a truck driver. He's back on the road now, but he had congestive heart failure, and he was his doctor wouldn't clear him to go back to work, but he couldn't get certain benefits. I think the only thing he was able to get was like food stamps, but he wasn't or SNAP. He wasn't able to go on disability, even though he could not. His doctor would not give him the go ahead to go back to work full time. So
Wow.
I don't know what the issue was specifically, but I just remember his frustration because the doctors was telling him his heart wasn't strong enough for him to work. But the benefits, they're like,
I've got a little input on that. Is they go by the year, you know. My wife was pregnant with my last daughter, and she was preeclamptic, which meant her blood pressure was up, and she basically was on sentence of bed rest. So she stopped working. During that time, I was a seasonal worker, and I was out of work. And normally we can get by with her income just during the summer months because I make enough. However, now I'm not working. Now she's not working. Now we're dipping into the savings. We apply for any financial aid that we can. You know what I mean?
Right.
And nope, sorry, you made too much this year. You can't get it. Essentially. And I'm like, I'm starving now. Or I mean, we're out of money now. We weren't starving, but you understand what I'm saying. We have no income whatsoever. We still got to pay the bills. We still got to pay the lights. We still got to pay the rent. And but we got no income coming in. But they wouldn't do it because we made too much money that year. And it was like, yeah, but we need it now,
Yeah,
but that's probably I'm assuming that's the situation that your friend was in because you said he was a trucker. He was just probably in that income bracket where they were like, no, sorry.
Yeah, it might have had something to do with it. But like you said, he needed the money now. He needed to continue, paying his bills and at least feel comfortable with paying his bills. And this went on for like almost 3 years. He was out of work. Thankfully, he's back and he's working now and everything like that. But and thankfully he had something built up that he was able to, go back in there and keep himself afloat. But if he didn't have it, I always wonder about people who don't have the wherewithal or don't have the ability or that money put away. Like, what do they actually do in these times when everything is going up? So,
All right.
I just understand that people rely too much on one source of income.
Yeah.
You have to have, in today's time, you have to have more than one stream. Because at any given time, even if it's a business, that one stream of income can dry up at any given moment, even if it's your business. Because the economy can flip on its head, and next thing you know, your industry doesn't even exist anymore. It's no longer essential. People don't want it. They're going back to the basics and things of that nature. So it's a thing where you have to find something to do or find a way to cause your money to make money as it relates to investment and things of that nature, to get away from the whole hamster wheel of working on a consistent basis, um, selling your time. And so I just understand that when it comes to the disappointment that comes with this is what I'm depending on, and I can no longer depend on it. Um, and the setup of if I don't show up, they'll let me go. If I can't show up, my livelihood is in danger, and so that's the thing. I think a lot of people get comfortable in certain spaces and don't even seek to look to do anything differently or add to what they have just in case, you know.
Agree.
Yep. That goes back to that comfort zone conversation. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
What's up, Anthony? Is she still there?
She probably holding up the sound while her screen is black. Oh damn, we was being serious. I'm sorry. Hey, Anthony's like prove me wrong.
Hello,
know,
can y'all hear
here she
me?
is.
Okay, we hear her now. There she
Mhm.
is.
First of all, it's amazing the things people say about you when they think you're not listening.
Who we
Did
want
you
to
say
say?
I had a black
Ooh.
screen up?
Oh,
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Get him.
What's
Get
up,
him.
elevated? What's up, Coach Lamb Chop? Hey, Tina,
hey,
Too
Lewis.
real.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, brother? Why, y'all, did y'all see what I said? I'm not trying to be funny. I really thought, brother, because on the screen you can't really see like the full
La
panel on the
Oh,
la.
you
screen.
say you thought he was Anthony.
I said, did Anthony change his name? I asked that the other day, and I said, okay, is they trying to be funny? Because I said, why they keep calling him that? So then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Anthony. Okay, I'm slow. But anyways, y'all,
his beard
hey,
is
how you
different.
doing,
I know
brother?
by the beard.
I'm
I was
good.
like, his beard
I
is
don't know
different.
who you're talking about, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, and then
You and
with the
me, Anthony.
background, yeah, because Anthony like do like music and
Music,
stuff.
the music,
And
yeah.
so his background, that's why I was like, oh, that's so cool. Well, hey JD365. Hey, Brandon of
Anthony's.
Palm Beach. And hey, Anthony. Hey, Lala. I haven't seen Lala in so long, but I
What's
see her
up,
name on the screen.
Lala?
But peace and reparations to the chat mates. Thank you guys for having me. I'm just here trying to get a few minutes. I get in where I can.
Of course.
But yes, now in reference to have I been fired? Now I
Mhm.
have been fired probably like about 3 or 4 times. One of them I was gonna call it getting fired because I turned in a 2 weeks notice and they call that stuff being petty and firing me.
Got you up out of there.
So
They was like, you could leave today. I hate when people do that. You
I
salty.
ain't
You
gonna
don't do
wait
that.
an hour before my shift in to call me. Well, it
They
was
made you
virtual
work the whole
They
shit.
do
the
that. I'm
whole
sorry. As
day,
Oh
a
my
member
y'all.
of leadership, they
goodness,
make
bro.
you do that. They make
Oh,
you do
they
that.
do?
Yes. Because they don't want you tearing up their stuff. They rather be at the end of the day. I promise you
Hey,
this.
you gotta know. So y'all ain't follow me last year. Y'all, when them people fired me, I kept their computer so long. I ain't taking their computer back until like a week before I was about to start my new job. It was so funny. They kept emailing me and calling me, talking about, can I get back the computer? I'm like, don't try me like that. Like, cause I could have been doing other stuff and wait till the end of the day. Now on another one, let me see. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, that's it. But that was like a while ago. That
That's
was when I was young and my young hot girl days. When you young, you think because like I always
Yep.
used to do like really good on interviews and
mm,
just get like all these good jobs. And when you young, you just be like, I don't need this, I could quit.
yeah.
But then when you get older and you realize, okay, no, I need this job. Well, not need it, but you have responsibilities, so you
Yeah.
have to think before you just
Th-
before I just be like, oh, okay, I'm finna quit.
Yeah.
This is paying the water bill. This is paying the electric bill.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Exactly.
I got to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. But meanwhile, you still talking your junk at the same time. Oh, I can't wait till this other job call me back. Oh, I'm
hmm
gonna be up out of here so fast.
Isn't it liberating when you leave a job that you hate and you just walk out and you quit? Isn't it just it's just
Yeah.
liberating,
It's
I've
a
never
you
beautiful.
know?
done that. I've never
Mm,
quit like
mm.
that and
Oh,
walked.
I
Oh,
I I gotta
I
oh
did
I
it once.
experienced
I
no.
a
If I
don't
couple
don't
of
if
recommend
things.
I
it.
don't if I don't like if I didn't like a job, I've clocked out at noon, went to lunch and never came
Never
back,
came
you know?
back.
Oh
Oh
wow,
my
you
That's
business.
know.
I
That-
can't
crazy.
count bills.
I
No.
can't.
Um,
That's
But
living legend.
I was in a situation at the time where it wasn't like it was the dependency
Wasn't
on
dire, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Now I got a mortgage, a little
Yeah.
bit different. I can't
You
do
got to
that, you
you got
know.
to stay there. Yeah.
So,
I
but like she was saying earlier, you know, back when she was younger, you know, hey, F this place, I'm out.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tendency to grieve the job even if I hated it.
What? Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
No way. Really?
sometimes it's not necessarily about the job so much as the things that make the job hard, like the people or the management. So it
Yeah.
wasn't that I wanted to actually let it go so much as I needed to keep my freedom because I was ready to go to jail. And so it was one of those things where you come into situations like that, you know,
Yeah.
and you have to make the decision, do I hold on to this and continue to go through in the fashion that I am? Or do I let it go and believe that I'll recoup what I'm losing right now?
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and 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 the thing about it is these jobs, most of these jobs are machines, so they're gonna keep on going whether you're there or
Regardless.
not. You
Regardless,
gotta,
yeah.
if you ain't looking
Mm-hmm.
out for yourself, then yeah. And I'm in Connecticut, so it's an at will state. So they technically they don't have to
Give
give you
you a
a reason.
reason.
They
Mm-hmm.
just get rid of you. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the same. In Florida, we call it a right to work state, but it's exactly the same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yup,
Exactly the same
Florida.
thing. They call it a right to work, and basically, what that means is the employer can fire you at any time for any reason.
yeah.
That's essentially
Literally.
what it
Out of their
means.
mind. That's why I
So
Literally.
don't be caring. Like if I am not happy on the job, I'm not gonna be like, oh,
I
they're
thought
gonna need me if I
I thought
leave.
it.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You
I
good?
thought Connecticut was a blue state.
You do that.
Whatever color it is, because I don't do politics. It's at will. I know it's at will.
That's right.
Okay, well that's generally what the red states do. Florida's big time red state. So yeah.
Florida, Dubai, okay. What you know about Florida? Florida is
Florida,
Truth be
nice.
told, this
hey, we're on the news all the time. Haven't you seen Florida Man? Come on, he's our superhero.
Yes, everybody want
Uh,
to be Florida.
truth be
Florida
told,
No,
any of
Man.
these jobs can
no.
get rid of you whenever they feel like it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's all
Because
about how they write it
Yeah,
up.
right,
It's all
exactly.
about how they
yeah,
write that thing up.
Yes. If they
That's
don't
why
yeah.
want you there, you don't have to clock in. I guarantee.
that's why I'm a
Mm-hmm.
firm believer in always keep your resume hot and ready to go.
Not,
Hello.
Mm.
not the Little Caesars
F these
resume.
jobs.
Yeah. I mean,
The
one of the
best,
things that
the
I
best.
hear you, coach, I definitely hear you. I think for me, I always go back to your why because some people are working because, like somebody already said, I got mortgage, I got bills, like I'm legit just here to get I know the number that I need, and this is why I'm working. For some people, is hey, this is temporary. This is a temporary space until I can basically pay myself, so I don't have to work here anymore. For other people, they legitimately like their jobs. I don't hate my job, but it funds all the other stuff that I want to do. So I think it really
Mm-hmm.
depends, but that multiple streams of income and I would say making things that will incur passive income, right? Music, books, coaching programs, digital products. You can do that stuff once. You wrote the book once and it can pay you for years. You know what I mean? So I think that
Yep.
that's if you can, and I feel like everybody can now because not that I would say that you should do this, but you could get Chat GPT to write you a book if you needed to, and just embellish it and, make it yours. It's like having a ghostwriter. Not saying you should do that, but there's so much access to information that people have. You can create products that will make you money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Ding,
And then
ding, ding,
use
ding,
your, like,
ding.
if you're going to work a regular job, try and get into the best situation you can. At least they're giving you some kind of health benefits, and use the job for that reason. And then fund your interests with what you're making at work.
Yeah.
If you can. I mean, it's tough out here, and the food prices ain't going down. So.
Somebody told me they was going down. I think it was somebody's
said
chat.
that?
P9 said the food prices was going down.
Well, like,
I
Supreme said.
mean, where do y'all be
4%.
shopping? Because the food prices definitely be going down. Now, if
I
y'all
think
in
it
like them
depends on
high
where you
behind
are.
grocery stores, be
It,
for real.
it depends.
Y'all be
It
buying meat
depends where
from
you're at.
Publix. Come on, guys. Meat from
Where
It
you
Publix.
depends
are
where you're at and where you're
matters.
talking about, because
Where
food
you are
prices are going
matters.
up down here.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
let me explain something to you.
I go to Aldi's, and Aldi's is expensive now.
When it comes to people that live in more urban settings,
Mm.
they are more expensive
Mm-hmm.
than some of the more
Rural.
suburban
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm.
rural settings. So when you talk about all the prices are going down, where do you live?
Not here, child.
Ain't you in NYC, coach?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Y'all stuff going up. And I'm gonna make some videos about that. It's gonna go up even higher if everybody select a certain. Yeah, they already been talking about that. They've been covering that
Mm.
for a while. They was like that stuff finna go sky high, like in New York, like in that area.
Mm.
Yep.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. Cause you was just saying you don't know where to be shopping at. I shop
Well,
at
I forgot
Applebee's.
y'all in like those Democrat cities where if you look a lot of those cities, I'm not being funny.
No, I
Like,
hang my head in acknowledgement. That was not me laughing. I
oh,
know
I was
you
about to
telling the
say, yeah,
truth.
if you like follow, like really like pay attention, the people that everybody be rallying for, acting like they really like for that, they those are the reasons like why that stuff is going up. And so that's what like other people be trying to like, just kind of like tell people, like it all tie back to that, like they making people think it's one thing and it's really something else. But I don't want to go down elevated channel, but I'm gonna make a video about it tomorrow and like share some links where people can go and like get more information to see what you can do to help maybe like not, I don't know if it can prevent it, but maybe make more people aware so they can like, look into it and see what they want to do.
Cool.
Well,
No, me
I mean, the
too.
fact the fact that they're throwing out a lot of people that cultivate our food, the farming community. I mean, they're literally going in, arresting them, and for whatever reason, legal, not, I mean, we're not getting into that on there. However, that being the case, the farmers are losing their workers, their farm workers. Okay.
Hmm.
Then you've got then you're going to add a tariff onto everything coming in from Mexico. We get 80% of our vegetables from Mexico. You're going to throw a tariff on that. Expect prices to go up on food big time, guys. That's just a fact that's going to happen.
To be
You
Well,
know,
the
honest, though,
tariffs
it,
tariffs are not something new though. Tariffs aren't
no, but
new.
they have
And you have
no,
to
no, no,
be,
no,
and I don't
no,
mean to
no,
cut
Nate.
you off, but the workers that you're speaking of, what workers are you talking about?
Farm workers, people
Okay,
that pick
what farm workers? I need you to break this down for people. What farm workers are you advocating for?
I'm not advocating for anybody. I'm just saying it's a fact that most of our the people that do all of our farm work, our
Mm-hmm.
actual labor,
Mm-hmm.
they're migrants. They're migrants. These
They're
people are,
migrants.
yes, the people that pick our food, yes. The people that process our vegetables, they're
Mm-hmm.
migrants.
Are you
Most.
saying they're illegal immigrants?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
So they're not
I'm
illegal immigrants. So why are they
no,
being
a lot
arrested?
of them, are here on work visas because we can't do it. We don't have the labor enough to run the farms.
Okay,
Um,
so if they're on work visas,
without
why are
them,
they not still here working?
Anthony's, that's a
there's
whole
a little
gonna
thing
go
called
down that
ICE.
rabbit hole,
I don't know
child.
if you heard about that, but
I'm not. So I have heard about it, and I'm not gonna go down an elevated page. But I was gonna say, I think you guys should check your source where you're getting like certain information from, because what they're wanting to do is like a modern day type slavery thing. So they have people here that are wanting to work, but if I can pay this person $20 and pay this person $7 and give them a place to stay, a lot of these greedy people are choosing the I'm gonna pay them 7 and get them a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
This is like based off of numbers, like information from doing research and actually talking to people. Like these big companies are hiring like illegal immigrants because the work is so much cheaper than paying people in America. And in reference to the tariffs, if we like shop in house and stop just trying to buy all this stuff out of the house, like it's so much deeper than what they tell us, y'all. We got to go like beyond the surface.
well, I kind of hear you there. But how many Americans do you know that are willing to go into 110-degree weather and pick tomatoes all day in the blazing sun? I
Well,
I
clearly,
don't know.
according
I
to
don't know.
public assistance, not a whole lot, because we have
I don't-
able-bodied people who are choosing to sit at home and not go work in the fields. Like, let's just be realistic. Okay, if those people want to do that, okay, whatever, that's fine. I'm just saying, according to like what the rules
Mhm.
are, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah. No,
advocating. I'm
no.
not
I'm
saying,
here.
oh, they should send them back. I'm just letting you know, like when you talk about stuff, you got to let people know what it is, though, when you're talking about it. So those people that were working in those farms, they're illegal immigrants. They're wanting these people to work for the low.
What does this have to
Americans
do?
Well,
don't even.
We're not
But
just
What does
talking.
actually,
this
Well,
but
have?
wait.
actually, when I was talking about the food prices, it was just more so the financial aspect of it and how it's another burden on people. It
Mm.
wasn't really. I mean, I understand that the immigration issue is a big hot issue, but that wasn't really why I was bringing that up.
No, no. I was just telling you that there's. I was just
I,
explaining that that's the reason why that the prices are gonna continue to go up as
I
well.
have a question.
Because
I
is
have
that
a
Tina?
question.
Go ahead.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead, Miss Tina.
How do we overcome these obstacles?
Mm.
Because
That
it's
is
as the reason why I ask is because there are always things that are getting more expensive.
Right.
There are always changes in the economy. There are always things that are going to affect your pocketbook, your wallet, your bank account, everything that you own. How do you protect your assets? And
Mm.
how do you get to a place where you're able to grow? Is my question.
Yeah.
Because
well.
beyond politics, you still
Right.
have personal responsibility.
mhm.
I want to know, how do we do that?
Yeah.
I mean, that depends on the willingness of the
Mhm.
person because we've heard for a
Mhm.
long time before like the food prices were going up, we've always heard the term having multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
People
Hmm.
hear that all the time, but are people actually actively working towards that goal?
Mhm.
Yes.
Or self-sufficient.
I
Another
yeah,
word thrown around is self-sufficient, you know?
right.
Yeah.
And
And
then
I
at
think,
the
yeah.
same time, sometimes those terms it leaves certain people out.
Yes.
It leaves certain people out. You know, the job that I did for a long time, I really had the opportunity to see poverty in this day and time. There are people that are living far below the poverty line. And when we talk about multiple streams of income, that's such a foreign idea to them because they're literally trying to survive day to day.
Yep.
So this conversation is great for people that don't have to think about that and don't have to face extreme poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's
Yes.
extreme poverty in this country.
Yes.
And those folks don't have the opportunity to have multiple streams of income.
There
At
are
the
children
same
going
time,
hungry.
though, they don't have the opportunities that we have to make our lives better. And from that standpoint, be able to help someone who does not have the platforms that we have. At the end of the day, you have to start with someone who can, instead of
Right.
looking at what do we do for the people that can't. If we come into a place where, okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us, it's 7 of us on this panel.
Right.
Right.
There should be more
Yeah.
than 7 streams of income on this panel.
True indeed.
If
Yeah.
you're self-sufficient, if you have everything that you need, and when I say self-sufficient, I mean the things that you need that are necessary and overflow, meaning you have the means to be able to help someone else, lend a hand, lend your resources, lend your knowledge, whatever that is. Then you can then look at those that are less fortunate. But if you don't have it, you can't do anything in macro scale if you can't deal with the micro first.
Oh.
Right.
Mm.
So we're saying the
You
same
can't
thing.
help somebody if you can't help yourself, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I mean.
Exactly.
And
Is
it's
that
a lot of
correct?
times we can get caught up in, oh, it's everything is doom and gloom everywhere. I'm like, yeah, but is it doom in your home? Or do you have the capacity to help someone past yourself? Now, one person helping another person means that we can go from 7 people to 14 and from 14 to 21. But it's about making the proper connections to be able to help the people that's in your community
Right.
first.
Right.
Yeah.
Community is important. Good. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was going to say, somebody said, I can't remember the exact word that they said, but when they said it, I heard the word internal locus of control, right? The what I can control, because sometimes we
Can
are
you?
very external. We're very
Right.
like society, general. I'm not. It's not a bad thing because I think you need to be aware of it. But at the end of the day, sometimes the only person or the only thing I can control is me and how I show up in society. So kind of to Tina's point, if I have enough and some to spare, am I able to teach somebody the program, the blueprint? If you have somebody who's in extreme poverty, right? What do they have control over? Is it their mental health that's keeping them in there? Is it substance abuse that's keeping them there? Is it recidivism that's keeping them there? Is there what is happening? Like, is it legitimately they cannot find a job? Can I employ you? Like, there are certain
Mhm.
things that we can do to help that situation that does not involve large scale macro legislation that might change tomorrow. You could fix it today, and 2 years from now it will be in shambles again. There's a biblical principle that says that we will always have the poor with us, and so
Yeah.
I think there's
Yes.
something about doing what you can with what you have and teaching other people to replicate that model. The other thing, going back to your point, I think earlier elevated, I know that the topic was what it was. Like,
Yeah.
how do you overcome the obstacle? Is having some having responsibility for oneself and how you show up in the space and in the world. Because many people, when they get to extreme poverty, they're like, okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna just sit here, and that's not blaming them, but there are other people that hit extreme poverty and end up on panels like this.
Back. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I agree with you guys. I agree, but then I disagree at the same time.
go ahead. So what's
Disagree.
your disagreement,
I
Kobe?
want to
What do
hear
you
that.
disagree with?
Where's the
What do you
disagreement?
disagree with?
So, I mean, just the idea of poverty and
Mhm.
why it is the way that it is in this country. But I know that I understand that it is what it is. You know, poverty is always going to be here, but I think I think sometimes we forget like how dire it is for some people. And like you said, Tina, like if we can help,
Mm.
then great. But what does like but what is to me like because what I would always feel, this is why I'm struggling with it, because the job that I did, you would be literally face to face with people that were going through a crisis. And in a crisis, this is when you really realize how expensive being poor is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because in a
What
crisis,
may I'm sorry to interrupt,
I'm
but
not going to
may
say
I
what the
ask what?
job was. I'm not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was my question.
I
All right.
already
Fair enough.
knew.
Fair
Mm-hmm.
enough.
You asked brother the
Sorry
same
to
thing.
interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
I can't really say what it is because I still kind of work in that capacity.
Mhm.
Okay.
So being like seeing how expensive poverty is, it's literally like
Mhm.
you're constantly just digging yourself out of a hole, a deeper hole, and creating another hole, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And you
Mhm.
can't even
Yep.
get to a place where you have your footing to be able to move forward. And there are programs out there, but sometimes even with those programs, they have a time limit. They
Mm-hmm.
have they're filled to capacity. It's just I'm not. This is not a doom and gloom kind of conversation. It's a reality. It's reality. It's not even doom and gloom. It's some
Yeah.
people's real
Life. Mm-hmm.
everyday life. It's not. I'm not saying it for like to put a cast over anything. I'm just thinking about like sometimes when we have these conversations, we're speaking from a place of privilege
Mhm.
because we don't think like that. We don't have to think like that. And
I would.
that's why I'm
Now.
thankful for right now, right? But even when you're removed from it and you were in a situation like I've been homeless, I've been I didn't get evicted, but I had to leave before we got evicted, child. Uh, so I've been in places, but even with that, I still was able to get out of it. I still had a way to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
when I'm talking about extreme poverty, I'm just speaking about like why people will take the $7 job, why people put themselves in situations where they come into a country where they came into the country illegally, why they did that,
Mhm.
because
Are
that
you
was
asking
the only
why?
option. No, I'm just, it's not like I'm asking you specifically why. It's kind of rhetorical.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like
No. You got
one of
to
the.
understand the U.S. dollar is the
It was like
basis
a
of
rhetorical
the
question.
entire world economy. Almost. Let's just say most world economy is based on the U.S. dollar.
Right, I
Um,
understand that.
for
It was kind
five
of a
cents
rhetorical
for
question.
yeah, but I'm just saying for them to work, if they make $7 an hour, that's a freaking fortune to some people that live in other countries. That's a fortune.
We
Right.
can't go off of other countries. We still are taking everything from the outside and bringing it into our homes. There's
That's what
only so much that you can do as an individual for your household, for the things that you have in your life. As long as the scope is on what can I do for the whole world, what can the whole world do for me, and what position am I in comparison to everyone else, it's like you lose the fact that or the idea of I still have to strive. It is no different than people making excuses for being plus size. You
Mm-hmm.
say you can do something. This
Right.
is the idea we have, regardless to what ailment a person may have, regardless to what got them in that position. You tell them you can do something. Well, if you can't do, we can start here, and you
Mm-hmm.
start from smaller increments and grow into larger ones. But people like to look at people that are fit and say, you can't tell me how to become fit because you already got a six pack,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when they had to start from somewhere too. All
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
is we have to take into consideration that in order for anyone to be helped, we have to be in a position to help them. Otherwise, it's a moot idea to consider if you're not even in a position to help someone in the first place. I understand that there are people that have abject poverty, but I also know that I'm not in a position to help them because they may need more than what I can provide.
Right.
Until I get to that place where I'm able to help the whole man in its entirety, that includes mentally, that includes physically, that includes socially, because some people need to be extrapolated from the places that they've landed in
All right.
life. That's expensive. Yes, it is expensive for the poor person, but it's also expensive for the person that got it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
I hear you that, coach. Like, I understand that there is a system at work, right? I acknowledge that. I think part of it is because I like you have worked in systems and I've seen, I don't even know how to articulate it. I've seen
It's very
disparities and
hard to articulate.
injustice.
You haven't seen it. It's very hard to articulate. If people haven't seen it,
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard
like
to explain. It's
you
very, very,
know, you've seen well-meaning people just
yeah.
didn't have.
Yes.
So
It's
I'm not,
debilitating.
I understand what you're saying, that we can't just ignore that is a thing. There are systems in place for whatever reason. I'm not getting into why or who or what,
It's
because
not
race,
even
class, and
political. It's
social
just the reality.
things are tied together in this country. But what I will say is, I have also seen people in that situation be elevated from certain behaviors and seen them be stuck from certain behaviors. And so I think I can't divorce the some personal responsibility that one has, even in the midst of the situation, if that makes sense.
I wasn't implying that they should pull themselves out or they couldn't pull themselves out. I was just stating what it is.
Got you.
Like, sometimes there's no immediate solution for things that have been going on for centuries. It's just, I was just acknowledging that is a fact. There are people, I saw Tiffany in the chat, Tiff, saying that she was able to pull herself out of poverty. And there are people that are able to do it. There are people that don't take government assistance and they pull themselves up. But then there are others that are unable to do it for one reason or the other.
Right.
Yeah. So I've
Well,
been
back to what I was saying before. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Let me start over again. I'm sorry. I was just saying there are people that were, that $7 an hour to them is like $1 million to us. That's all I was saying. And that's why that's why there's so many people that are willing to come over to this country for that reason, because
right. That's kind of what I was saying too. When I was asking why, it wasn't because I didn't know the answer. It was just like a rhetorical question. Just why do you like, in other words, why do you think they're coming here? So I understand why they're coming here, but it was kind of like a question, like,
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna,
I just wanted to clarify that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, now I wanted to add that so I've been homeless twice. So I kind of, I've seen on different levels. A lot of it, like the messaging, is it's gonna reach the ears of people that have the wherewithal. So if we like, we're talking to each other right now, and we may be talking to somebody who may be maybe a little bit on a lower level than us. That's the right word. But the people that are that need both people in the house to work, and they're both working 60 hours a week, and they're not going to be able to, they're not going to be seeing this messaging because they're probably trying to get a 3-hour nap before they go to their second job.
Yes.
So, so it's just different levels, and the people that can't hear the message is really, unless you are actively like seeking them out and finding them, is really no way to get the message into them. There's really no way that you can help them or or like reach back if you're not actively doing it. And what
Right.
uh, who's is it? Everybody is the person next to me. What's your name? Because I can't see the
Oh, that's Tina.
Tina.
That's
Yeah.
Tina.
So
Tina.
like yeah, so like the idea of us, taking care of ourselves first. So the people that are a little bit below us, they're grinding. They're trying to get out of there. So they
Mhm.
don't have time. And then we are just a little bit above them and we're still kind of doing the same thing. We're trying to
Mhm.
set ourselves up. So we're not prepared yet to grab them back at this reach down right now. Maybe we can give them advice, but we're still not prepared. So we're just everybody's kind of in. I think most people are just trying to get through these days and these weeks. And if you lose your
Mm-hmm.
job, you're a couple of weeks without from being poverty or being homeless. So like we trying to separate
Mm-hmm.
ourselves from that. So it is a tough thing, but the conversation, having a conversation right now is like, and it's not just now, it's an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be a one-off. We shouldn't just drop it here at the end of this show and then go, all right, well,
Next.
we should double back and double back at a later time and continue the conversation.
Right.
Right, I agree. I agree. Oh,
It's
yeah.
deep. It's a deep.
Yo, this be real. Like,
It's deep. It's deep,
oh,
and it's unfortunate that people even have to
pause.
go through some of the things they have to go through.
Yeah. But stuff happens, life happens. But
Mm-hmm.
even if you're trying to help somebody that is going through some things, they have to have that mindset to where they want to, get up out of whatever situation they're in. Because you could try to help them all day and all night, but if they don't have that mental push, it's might as well be helping a brick wall.
Mm.
And there are certain things that you just have to have in
Right.
order to be able to really become successful. And it takes a person being able to be at a certain level for them to be able to receive what they need, because you got to have the resources to maintain what you're given.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So anything below being able to receive, then you're kind of out of the talking points, so to speak.
Right.
Tina, can I ask you what what would you consider essential for becoming successful on your own?
Community.
You have to
Um,
elaborate a little bit, please.
I I wasn't finished.
Okay,
Um,
so I'm sorry.
I talk a little slow so you can understand what I'm
That
saying, and so I
that's
can
all right. I'm sorry.
think through the thought,
Hmm.
or the answer rather. Um, you need community. You need access.
Hmm.
Um, you need um, you need a support system, and you need character. You need integrity.
Mm.
Um, you have to be knowledgeable, or at least wise enough to know what to do with the knowledge you have, and wise enough to ask the questions in order to get the knowledge that you don't have. And you must be a good steward, because it makes no sense to get all of these things, to squander them, to never have them again.
I'm going to add something. Is the humility to be able to ask when you don't
Yeah.
know something.
Well, that goes with character. If you don't have the proper
Mm.
character, you know what I'm saying? Character development also includes humility. Because how are you going to
Okay.
ask if you are lifted up in pride and feel like, I know everything I need to know? You know,
Yes.
you can't approach
Yes.
life with that attitude, you know.
Right.
I've met many of people that their downfall was because of that. They it's plateaued at I'm a cook, and they plateaued because they were just unwilling to say, "Hey, how do you do that?" or "How do you make that?" It's just unwilling to do that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Pride.
exactly. The pride gets in the way, and I become who I am now because I'm not ashamed to say, "Hey, show me how you make that."
Hold on.
I've never seen that.
Can I address the elephant in the room? Because I just saw something.
Oh,
Rest
go ahead.
assured, rest assured
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
that I have
Uh-oh.
personal convictions that cause my success because I'm submitted to Jesus. Now, you could submit yourself to whomever, whenever, and may you have success in that way of life. But I will say, and I'm not afraid to say, that I have a relationship with the one who created me. And therefore, I'm able to say I can point to my level of success because of who I submitted myself to.
Wait, what happened? I missed it. Sorry, guys.
That's a lot to go back on, but
Oh, okay.
um,
No, I was just.
I Tina, I
Mm-mm.
understand that 100%, but you understand that there's a lot of people stating the exact same thing that are doing evil, you know?
But who are they submitting to? Again, there are people that have their own mindsets about, okay, let's take this for instance. Can a person come to your house and do what they want to do with your house?
No.
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, then. Well, and they can't say that your house belongs to them either, just because they came over there, right?
Word.
Correct.
There are a lot of people that claim a lot of things, but don't possess the character, the authority, or anything else that comes along with the thing that they claim. So
Mhm.
I let them say they whatever they do evil, okay, but if their life is not reflecting what they believe, are they what they actually believe? No.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. I was just saying there's a lot of people nowadays claiming to be Christians, and you're seeing all the stuff in the news, especially what's going on right now. And you can't somebody you can't
Well,
go you can't
that's a generalization too, though, and I think that's a
Uh-oh.
little bit unfair
You went there.
to
Don't
paint
going down the
everybody
wrong
with the
road,
same
brother.
brush. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me hush
No,
my
not
mouth.
you, Danielle. I was saying.
Oh, I think
No,
that
I
I
was
know
not
that you
painting
weren't intending
anybody.
to, but that's
I'm just saying that it's hard when somebody says I'm a Christian.
so you
You have to
interrupted
go
me.
back by the. I'm
Can I
sorry.
can I finish my statement?
Oh, of course.
I'm sorry. So, what I was saying is that it's a generalization, and so when you say things like there are a lot of Christians that, yeah, there's a lot of Christians that, there's a lot of non-Christians that, there are a lot of Muslims that, there's a lot of Jews that, there's a lot, whole lot of. It's a very big generalization, and I think that is where we get the difficulty from, right?
Yeah.
It is the right of someone who believes a thing to articulate that thing for themselves. And so what
Right.
Miss Tina is saying, this is what I believe. She's not saying all the people who have this belief system believe that, because that's just not true. Black people are not a monolith. Christians are not a monolith. Muslims are, that nobody is speaking for the entirety of the people group. And so I
Mhm,
think
Yeah.
when we are making statements, especially on a panel, we're making
mhm,
statements for ourselves. And unless we
Yeah.
say,
mhm.
hey, this is representing all the people that look like me, can't really say that all the Christians, or the most of the, you know.
And I think
So
that's
there
where
Yeah.
you go.
No.
I'm done.
a lot of conversations get messed up, is that people just, for lack of better words or lack of better term, we just can't get past that being able to agree to disagree. Like we
Right.
don't all have to think the same.
I agree.
That is true, but I also believe that there is objective truths to everything that you do. And if you have objective truths as it relates to laws, as it pertains to rules, I mean, and I get that people feel like I'm doing the same thing they doing over there at Jones' house and at James' house because we live on the same street and our houses are painted the same color, but it doesn't have the same thing going on the inside.
Uh-uh.
And so, with everyone having a particular interpretation of what they think the thing is, there is an objective truth to what it actually supposed to be.
True.
And when you strive to do that, it makes a clearer picture for everyone else
Mhm.
of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I concur, Miss Tina. You spoke for me with that one.
Yeah. All right.
And that's not me trying to shove nothing down anybody's. Um, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
force an
Yeah.
ideology on anyone. I'm trying to keep from saying pause. I'm I'm not trying to force any ideology onto anyone. What I am stating though is that everyone always wants to split hairs about you do this, but I don't do that. I do this, but you don't do that. We can't be and all this and the other. And I'm like, well, if you just go get with the basics of
Mhm.
things,
Mhm.
can you get
The
down to the nitty
basic.
gritty? Can you get down to the foundation of the situation, and then go from there? But but when you have people that's like all of you all are in a group, either throw all of y'all overboard or everybody can do whatever, and that's not the
Right.
case.
Right.
Yeah. I agree.
It's just not.
Well, I was talking about these. I don't know. I guess I don't want to bring this up. It's kind of a heavy topic, and
Yeah.
you know. But I just people that say that they believe in something and live their lives exact opposite, and live with hate and live with I don't agree with that. And then they call themselves Christians. That's all I was getting at, you know.
And I don't think it's
That was
anything
it.
wrong with it. I don't think it's wrong with the feeling of people shouldn't be walking around with hatred in their heart and then trying to preach or tell
Yes.
somebody I got a love message. It
Mhm.
doesn't go
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Mhm.
It
That's
doesn't.
that's that's
And it
what I'm
creates
that's
confusion. And I understand where you're coming from with that.
Mm-hmm.
that's where I was getting at. And you know, that was all. And I don't want to bring the panel down, but you know, everything happening nowadays, and you know, people saying that they're Christians, but
Oh, okay.
literally not living like a Christian. You know what I
I
mean?
think you know what it is. I think you're saying Christian,
Yeah,
and
I think that's what it's like.
it's
Oh, just the
it's
Christians are acting like that. It's only that
it's
group of
it's
that only
really
that religious
Ooh.
party
I
No,
that's
think
no,
doing it.
no. I'm not saying.
no.
I'm
I
not
know you're
saying
not
You
saying
everybody. Don't
said
get me wrong.
Christian
no, but
about
hold
10
on, hold on.
times, bro.
I don't
That's
think
all I'm
I don't.
saying.
You're not. I don't
Uh,
think that you intentionally are saying it's only Christians, but that's how it could be perceived. That
Well, it
oh,
was brought
sorry.
up in the chat
Christians say
actually,
that
and
they
I
Yeah.
hopped
believe.
on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
I
was
it's
didn't. I
addressing
didn't.
something that
consistently in the
came
chat.
from the
It's
chat.
Yeah, it was
been in
really.
the
I think
chat.
it started in the chat, right? Like the
Yeah,
whole.
it did.
Yeah,
Comic Brandon
yeah.
made a comment.
Yeah,
I addressed it, and then it went down here from there, or
yeah.
uphill from there,
Sorry.
depending
I'm
on your
sorry.
Yes.
perspective. You know.
Elevated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can get to some heavy stuff, but
No,
I
it's
wanted to keep it
okay,
lighthearted.
Brandon. You okay?
You
You okay?
know, I wanted to keep it lighthearted tonight. You
It's all
know,
right.
but
It's all right. Just we can't just generalize everybody. Whatever their beliefs,
oh,
religion, or anything
if
like
I
it,
was
it
if you
was
guys perceive me as generalizing, no, that's not what I meant. I just was saying I've noticed that there were a lot of Christian people saying hateful things that are not Christian, and it just blows my mind. That's all I was saying, and I didn't mean to
Yeah,
generalize
That
anybody. I did not
but that's
mean
a
to generalize
but
anybody.
Brandon, this is the thing.
that,
That
that's
is
a
a
generalization.
generalization.
That's
That's the definition of a generalization. So
like
if you said like
there are
just
people of
I,
various religions
like
saying
yeah, if
things.
you just
That's
said
not
some people say that they represent something, they represent something good, but their actions are not good.
right. Right.
Period.
yeah.
Because saying Christians, it will make people that are Christian feel like they have to say That's not all of us.
Uh,
Just like if people say
no. I understand.
something about black
I
women,
wasn't.
like when people wait, hold on, Brandon. Like when
Go
if
ahead.
people
Go ahead.
say all black women are angry, or you're an angry black woman, you automatically feel like you have
All black
to
women. Yeah,
defend them. So
right.
that's it. Like you don't have to
That's
say it
all.
again.
You
You
don't
I
have to
was
be
able to hear
sorry,
what you were
bro.
gonna say. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm trying to move it along. Really.
All right. All right. All I was just saying that there are a
Oh,
lot.
Oh,
How's that? Is that a better statement?
That's,
no,
okay.
it's fine,
Okay.
Brandon.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
Elevated.
There are a lot of people
Next.
that I'm listening to that are saying this, and I'm thinking to myself, if you're Christian, you shouldn't be thinking this way or saying that. Is that still
you're good. You're good, sir. You're good, sir.
Yes,
I'm over
right.
here with my attention elsewhere to this chat. I'm trying to be quiet.
all
Thank
Maybe,
you.
right? All right.
yeah,
But I think
maybe
we
maybe
should
you
go to
could.
the next
So
topic.
Vibrant Low, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop putting the chat up on the screen since um you want to see people's names. So no more comments up on the screen. Now you can see everybody's name.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know you couldn't do them at the same time.
yeah. Well,
I
you
mean, the
have it
chat is on the
highlighted.
side.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like pieces of the
It's,
chat on the. If you, I don't know if you guys see that.
yeah,
It's
it's small though. It's in the corner.
tiny. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the best I could do. So that's
Get get you a producer in the back and have them turn it on and off.
Eventually, right? Elevated.
yeah. Eventually, either that, or y'all gonna have to super chat to get some
Hello,
I
tell them.
know that's right. Hey,
big dreams.
Throw
Big
me a
dreams.
dollar. Throw me a dollar. Or something.
I appreciate the colorful discourse tonight, guys.
Absolutely.
It's
It's
all
good. It's
good.
supposed
We
to
all
be.
friends here.
Supposed to be
Yep.
able to do that.
I like to have conversations
Kumbaya.
where people don't
Needs to
agree.
shake.
Yeah.
Like I think it's interesting to hear other people's perspectives.
Right.
Everybody's
So
not going to feel the same. Everybody wasn't raised in the same way. Everybody doesn't have the same idea,
Hmm.
and that's okay.
yeah, that's what makes this interesting.
Yeah,
Everybody could, open their mind and learn a thing or two, and no judgment here.
yeah.
We listen and we don't judge.
Except
Oh,
when we do.
oh no,
Y'all be lying.
I'll
Y'all be
be
Right.
judging.
judging.
Y'all
You
be
heard me
judging
right?
now.
Oh no,
I
I'll
know
be
I'm
judging. No,
I'm judging one.
I'm just playing.
I'm
But that was a nice long segment. The next talking point, which is going to be the last talking point, is going to be community and support systems.
Nice
Hmm.
segue.
Surround yourself with people who uplift you, not drag you down. The right circle can turn setbacks into growth opportunities. Be open to learning from others' struggles and wins. Accountability partners will give you a faster bounce back. Major pause on that one.
What was the pause? Say that again. What was the pause? What was the pause?
No, the faster bounce back from
Oh,
accountability partners.
I mean, but that's so true. I said it earlier when Brandon was talking about, was asking me about my definition for success. You got to have community. You got to
Mm.
have
Yep.
people that are there that can help you, not just to celebrate when you're up, but to
Yep.
help to lift you when you
Right.
fall or when you're down. You know.
Right.
And
Abs-
you have to build yourself around with people that are positive around you. I mean, you can have negative people working with you that you call your friends or whatever. That'll just put you down or whatever. But you gotta stay away from those type of toxic people. You know,
And
you
we
have to
have to do
put.
self checks too, though, because sometimes what we
You the
consider
negative.
negative can actually be something that's constructive criticism that's there to sharpen you and to make you better. But if you're
Yes.
sensitive and you only want yes men in your corner, then you have a whole nother issue that you have to deal with.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I saw this.
Well, how do you figure out whether you're one of those people or not? You know?
That's
I-
self-reflection.
People stop telling you the truth.
Yeah, I saw this quote. I don't know where I saw it. It said something like I don't know what I don't know, but I know there are things that I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if you go into the situation with your mind open, basically,
Yeah.
you know, you can learn, especially if you looking at somebody like, they say the people you surround yourself, you shouldn't be the smartest one in the room.
Yep.
So, you find somebody that's doing it that's on either a step above you or a couple of steps above you,
Mhm.
or somebody that got that grind and that dog that you want. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can learn from anybody, I believe, but definitely you got to be open for correction. You cannot have people just saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And meanwhile, if they say your 5 closest friends, all 5 of y'all struggling, but everybody telling each other they right and they doing a
Mhm.
good job, and there ain't no upward movement. So yeah, you
Right.
definitely
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think I said this earlier. I think you need different types of friends in your community support system. There is room for the person who's going to sit with you and help you with your tears and just sit and let you have your feelings. And there's also the life coach that's going to be like, all right, now get up from there. I think you need both, because there are some times where people are like, you don't get to feel like, you just have to keep going. There's no room for that. And I don't think that's always helpful. I think you need both. I think you need actually the spectrum of somebody who's going to push you, but also somebody who's going to allow you to have feelings that will help you towards the middle. Because I've seen that kind of really tough love approach, and that's all the person gets, and they
Mhm.
end up that's not a good place either. So I think there needs to be flexibility and boundaries. I mean, and balance in that. And you need different types of community, like different people that are going to allow the different facets of you to flourish.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
agree.
I completely agree with that because I have quite a bit of an aggressive approach. I'm very straightforward, and I'm not the huggy bear. I'm just not. I'm not gonna be, oh, it's gonna be okay. I'm not one of those type of people. I'm like, hey, this is what it is. What can we do now to move from here to get to the next step? On
Mhm.
the other hand, there are other people that can share that space and just come on, bring it in. Let's hug. And I'm like, I'm a touch me not. Don't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how it is so important to have those different people that you can express the different parts of you, and they be embraced, and you still get that, that toughening that you need when that iron needs to sharpen that iron as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 When it comes down to it, like you said, you don't want a yes man in your corner the entire time, because you know, um, at work, I I want somebody to just walk up to me and say, "Hey, you got a booger hanging out of your nose," you know, something like that,
What?
just to tell you the truth. Just to tell you the truth. Hey,
yeah. I mean, that's a small
I
thing,
mean,
but
I'm trying to simplify it, but
yeah,
that's
Right, right. I got you.
that's basically what you're trying to say, and yeah,
Yeah, because you're right,
you know,
Brandon. There are people that will see that booger and not say nothing.
Talk
Let you
bad,
and
walk
bad
around
about
with
you.
they'll
the booger.
giggle. Not
Mm-hmm.
only will they giggle, they'll go tap somebody on the
Yeah,
corner
yeah.
and
And
go,
show
"Hey,
you.
hey,
Yeah.
Hey, you
look
see
over
that
here."
booger in Brandon's nose?
But what I
And
will say
see, those
too,
type
going
of
back to
people are
what
way
Tina said, you have to be the type of person that's going to receive that. Because sometimes you
Yeah,
don't tell the
Hmm.
person because
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know this is the type of person that we're going to be fighting. Like I'm not going to Shaquanda and telling her because we're going to be.
Shaquanda is
I just
crazy.
made that up because it was nobody. Because Laura, I'd be there
we,
slash Shireen and it'd be a thing. So I just made up a name. They'd be like, "Oh, she would talk about Coach." No, but I think that you have to take some responsibility too. There are sometimes they don't tell
Yeah,
you because you're not the type of person that can take feedback. You can't take truth.
Agreed.
So they don't say anything. They will snicker behind your back because the last time they tried to tell you, you attacked them.
Yeah, you crashed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a self-improvement thing right there, because you need to be able to take constructive criticism, period, point blank, in life. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to failure, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's period. That's period. And I've learned, I've always learned. I always take constructive criticism. I'll take even, I mean, I you know, whatever
How do you
you
know
gotta
when it's
say, okay.
constructive?
Well, I'm sorry.
How do you know when it's constructive?
Mm.
Oh, you don't. You don't. You
So
just
how
take all the
do you
criticism. You
Mm.
take all the criticisms, you know, and you know, and but you evaluate them, and if you have a intelligence, then you can work it out that, oh, well, you go back and you look at what was happening at the time, you know.
I
I'm
think you can tell when it's constructive when there's like it's a solution based thing. They're not just saying
yeah.
don't do that. They're giving you an alternative or some kind of solution to your issue.
Yeah.
Would that be considered
Well,
constructive?
Yeah, if they could.
I would go
I'm
so
kind of
far as to
asking.
say, I would go so far as to
go ahead,
say
Miss Tina.
that a lot of times it's about, do you know the character of the person bringing you the information?
Mm.
Can you
Mm.
trust them to be that source of criticism and not just be someone to criticize?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I can give you
Because
an
a lot.
example.
Were you about to say something, Brandon?
Oh, I just said I could give you an example, but I made something and somebody said it tasted like shit. Now I'm gonna go back and look at that guy and
That's not
a hunt.
constructive.
What's that?
Yeah,
That's not
that
constructive to me because it's just just a criticism.
disrespectful. That was
Oh
Hey,
just
yeah,
why does it
disrespectful.
taste like shit?
yeah.
If it tastes
Whatever.
like shit, is it too
Either way,
salty? What?
Mm.
either way it's criticism. I'm feeding 100 people in a day as a cook. You know.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's not constructive. It's still not helping you to make it better. You're
no,
just
yeah, no. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yes. Somebody says, the one person says, hey, it tastes like shit. I said, oh, okay. Now, am I going to look at him and said, well,
You look
your mama, no, you know what I mean? You know, no, I'm not going to do that. I'd be like, oh, okay,
I
sorry you
think
didn't
it's a
like it.
better way to say it because
yeah.
it's okay if somebody starts out with that statement, that your cooking ain't worth a hill of beans. I want to know.
How could
I
you
want to
make it?
know
Well,
what's
that's
wrong with it.
Yeah, is it
Right.
Can
Mrs.
you point out to
exactly,
me
Miss
what's
Tina.
distasteful about it?
Exactly, Miss Tina. That's exactly what I was going for, was that it was like, well, what was your problem with it? Oh, it's too salty, or it's too,
Okay, right.
okay. All right,
Right.
okay.
That's
You
more
know,
constructive than your
It
feeding.
hey,
should be solutions
well,
based and
like
not
see,
just
I learned even through those
loaded with insults.
Mm.
I guess you can, you know, whatever. Yeah, no. But we I don't know. There's a lot of insults that get thrown back and forth at work.
so.
It's
It
a
sounds like there needs to be better communication.
Well, in a kitchen
no.
setting, that's kind of how it goes.
If they don't like the food that I make, they say, hey, this tastes like shit. Okay, you know. But at the same time, I ask them why, etc., and they do tell me, hey, I think it was a little too salty, or I think there was, you know.
Sounds like you
Usually, it's
sounds like you got a different you got like that kind of relationship with them.
That's
Right.
what I was going to say.
If
Hmm.
you got that kind of
well,
relationship,
I've been working with these guys for 20 years,
Oh,
so
listen,
that's
I've been
good.
working
Oh,
I've been working with people for 20 years, and there's a way that you're gonna talk to me. I don't give a shit
Right.
what
yeah.
Right.
how good
Mhm.
how close we are. If there's some correction to be made, I don't care if you're my boss, and I'm gonna push back. If you talk to me a certain kind of way,
Mhm.
let's bring
well,
it down a little bit.
Brother, I understand that these are the people that are down on these aren't my bosses. These are
I'm
my
saying anybody.
coworkers.
I'm saying coworkers, anybody. We
Anybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're okay
I
with it, Brandon, if that's the way you don't mind,
we do it to we do it to each other. That's
So
we
So
right.
bust
y'all,
each other.
y'all be
We
joking
bust each
then.
other's
Right
chops.
there, that's
You
not.
know, we bust each other's chops,
Mhm.
and that's what we do.
yeah.
I
I
know.
think it's
And
correct. Even in that, I think there's a way to present information if it's being constructive, right? And I think going back to
Mhm.
what you said, Miss Tina, earlier, the integrity of the person. So if I say,
yeah,
I'll use an example. There are people like, everybody knows I'm a church person, right? So if a sermon is terrible, if somebody is misquoting scripture, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be like, oh, that was amazing. No, I'm gonna be like, come on, let's bring out the study tools, let's talk about it. Because me as a person, my integrity is not gonna let me just let you look crazy. I just can't do it. But I'm also not gonna be mean, and I'm not gonna be
Why
unkind.
not?
You
hmm
said I'm not going because that's just not my personality. That's not my personality. And again, as a person with integrity,
I know
what is
that.
the goal? The goal is to help you improve. So I think that
Right.
that's what it is. Going back to what Coach said too, like if the goal is to help me get better, then it is it is the injury that produces growth. It is the you didn't like the way what I said, but was it
Um,
true and did it help you when I said it? So I think that's a little bit different. If they say, "Hey, this food is terrible. You put too much turmeric in it. You got some coriander, some curry powder. You might fix it up a little bit." That's
mhm.
constructive as opposed to just being crass and not helpful.
Agreed.
oh we work construction half of the year too, so
Cooking
it's
and
a little bit
Hope
different.
y'all washing
It's a
y'all.
little it's a
Hope
little
y'all
bit
washing
different
y'all
on the
hands.
construction site. Yeah, what's
I
that?
work around. I work around those type of men. I have for several years because of the industry that I come out of. Brandon Doax. Um,
Okay.
but
You
it
work it, Tina.
they do have the tendency to speak a particular way, but
Yes.
it's
Yes, ma'am.
understood to the person that's listening why it's being said, how it's being said.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Well,
so,
exactly. It may
can I
seem
please finish,
disrespectful
sir?
to.
Can
No.
I finish my point? Just a little change.
Yeah, yeah. Go
That's
ahead.
there go
I'm
me
sorry.
some
I'm sorry.
constructive criticism right there. Let me finish. Uh,
Go ahead.
what I was saying was when you work around when you have certain relationships like work relationships, there is an environment that there's a particular standard that has to be met. Them coming to the place of meeting that standard may mean that this environment uses colorful language, and men
Mm.
don't care. They use lots of colorful language, but there
Oh,
are
very
times when they
colorful.
need to bring something to me and they can't talk to me like they talk to homeboy, like they
Yes.
talk to somebody else, because I
Yes, ma'am.
require a certain amount of respect and I give it automatically so you can
Right.
know where I
Yes, ma'am.
stand. On the
Yes,
other
ma'am.
hand, on the other hand, when it comes to your friends can say stuff to you and you know where they're coming from when they're talking to you because you understand the character of the individual that's talking to you.
Yep.
You know when they didn't mean that in the way it sounded to someone else. I know the heart of
Exactly.
that person, and therefore I can handle what they say to me better than them saying it to someone that does not have that already established relationship.
You explained it more eloquently than I could, and thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
You did a wonderful job. But
Hey
yeah.
guys,
Yeah. Okay.
she's
Elevated.
she's out.
Yeah, it's time to wrap this one
Yeah.
up. This was an interesting panel to say the very, very least.
Hey, thank you
Uh
for having me, sir.
yes, sir. You always bring the twist to the panel. So I haven't decided if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just messing with you, Brandon. You know, we like different ideas and opinions and things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Of course. Me too.
right. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up here. You know, we got things to do in the morning and stuff, work. But not for too long. We're not gonna be working for too long. But
We got to do our. We got to work one of our multiple streams of income, right? Elevator.
There you go. There you go.
yeah, that's why I was late today.
Have a wonderful night, Miss Tina.
You have a wonderful night as well, Brandon.
Dang,
right,
Brandon, you don't want me to have a wonderful night either, Brandon?
No.
Damn.
Oh,
Nah.
I'm
yes,
most
sir. Yes, sir. You're the reason I came on. You're the reason I came on to begin with.
Pause.
Oh, oh. Oh, goodness. Oh.
All right. Oh, y'all could have been anywhere in these internet streets, but you're here with us, and I appreciate each and every one of you for taking some time out of your evening. Everybody, take care. I will see you guys tomorrow evening. Hopefully, I will be on time.
Yeah, what happened today? No, I'm just kidding.
I was working on the car.
I feel you, brother.
I'm in grind mode. I told you that, Coach.
And I love that for you.
September.
Mm-hmm.
Step it up, right? Step it up.
All right, y'all have a good night.
It set it up September for me.
Okay.
Cool. And then bam. All right, let me stop.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you, Elevated. Very
Brother
good.
was about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say I always like to say to your loved ones, don't leave anything unsaid. And y'all be safe.
Absolutely.
Have a great night, everyone.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Good night, guys. Bye.
All right. Take care, everybody.